Hey guys, Game here. I want to interrupt Training Tiny Timmy here to bring you some great tips for surviving the mist. Today, I have 10 top tips for beginners in mist survival. If you're a veteran, stick around, you might even learn a thing or two. Also, stay tuned for a future 10 tips for pros coming soon. Come on, Timmy. Tip number one, the double hit. You've probably done this one accident a couple times, but using this correctly, you will be rolling in the resources even in the first days. First, find the trees that are close together. Using one swing, we're going to hit both trees. You can use a knife on the tree to collect tree bark. In this case, 2 tree bark per swing. Use an axe to cut down the tree for logs, or 2 trees at once using this trick. A sledgehammer can also be used as well to collect leaves. This double hit trick is sure to impress Kate, Rachel, and even the axe man Scott. Tip number 2. A simple game setting that can make your life so much easier. Head into the Options, Graphics menu, and turn down the foliage. This is going to remove the grass textures and allows you to see rocks, sticks, leaves for miles. Use this when you need to farm up some feathers or leaves quickly. Just looking at this leaf, check out the difference between the graphics setting on high, ultra in this case. Look at that. That is so hard to see. Even with the indicator, you still can't see what you're picking up. Change that all the way down to low, and you can clearly see the leaf. Tip number 3. You can move things. Some objects in the games are movable, not just suitcases and lockers. Walk up to it, select M to move, and drop it with your mouse buttons. For instance, the sawmill. It's a movable object. This means that if you can find it out on the map, throw it in the truck. Walk it back to your base. There's a sawmill, workbench, 2 lights, cooking pot, 2 water barrels, all scattered around the map. Don't waste resources building these when you can easily find them and just move them to your base. Tip number 4. Save. Save. Especially before a fight, or before building something that takes a good chunk of resources, or even just something that you want to look just perfect. Walls, for example. These take hours to build, along with a lot of resources. Save before putting up a few walls, build it, check it out. Then if it's not perfect, when they're done, just simply reload. Having one wall off from the rest could cause alignment issues, and if you're OCD like myself, an eyesore for days to come until you eventually waste an entire axe to chop it all down. And then get back not even half your resources. Save. Tip number 5. When a mist comes in or you just need to kill some time, I always like to keep a few items on me to craft. Remember though, only do this in a safe area, a closed room, on top of a roof, something like that. One thing I like to do, craft branches into sticks. Sticks into basic arrows, hard sticks into spears. Possibilities are endless here. Just keep a few items on you to craft, just in case you need to get through a mist or a few hours safely. Tip number 6. What the heck do you do with that left hand? You tried a gun, a spear, probably an axe already, huh? Yeah. The left hand is used for 2 things. Number 1, a torch. Number 2, a shield. The latter being the better option here. Both can be crafted rather cheaply. The shield does have an upgraded version, which is highly recommended. The torch can be used to light the night or in the mines, but at the beginning, it really doesn't have many uses. The shield, however, this can be used to block incoming attacks, as well as shield bash to stagger the infected. I wouldn't recommend using these against bandits, since generally they're going to be shooting at you. Continue to watch my horrible performance in the background, sped up for your enjoyment. You're welcome. Tip number 7. Use height to your advantage. Tiny Timmy the Bear is one of the best examples of this. Utilizing our surroundings, we can jump onto something and it helps avoid being damaged. The same can be said for infected. However, their reach is a bit more than Timmy's. Stick to military trucks, buses, or roofs to avoid the infected. Utilizing a spear or other melee weapon when in such position allows you to farm them safely, which is one of the best ways to get Timmy's resources early without getting damaged. Tip number 8. Use your followers. If you find someone in one of the bandit camps, you're actually able to rescue them and they appear back at your base. There's 3 survivors total. Once they're back at your base, you can speak with them. Give them items. They don't require food or water, but give them a melee weapon or a gun with at least 1 bullet, and they will protect your base from the infected. It's important to note they can accidentally destroy your containers and or car while shooting, even with their supposed training. But that's not all. Use them daily to craft for you. Some crafting is highly time consuming. Instead, assign one of them to do the job. Once they are done, resources appear in the workbench or crafting station that they were at for you to collect. It is worth noting that Scott, one of the survivors, can also cut down trees. Given a max, and this is one of the best ways to clear an area of trees and also collect massive amounts of resources for you. Not to mention saving a few, 20 axes. Tip number 9. Possibly one of the most well-known tips of mist survival, the fence in the window. I wouldn't call this a tip video for beginners if I didn't include this one. Many base locations will come with windows that will need to be continuously repaired. You can tell which windows by looking at the boards across them. These are the only windows infected can break and crawl through. Repairing these is very time and resource consuming. Instead, pop up a fence from the building menu directly into the window. This will keep the infected from being able to crawl through. They'll still break the windows, but this is only a visual effect, as they cannot get in. Alright, Bobby, that's enough. We're recording here. However, do make sure you do this to all windows. Most cabins have 2, and the White House comes with 4. Tip number 10. Keep an emergency bag in your truck or emergency items in your SUV. An incredibly simple tip that will save you in the future. Personally, I keep a crowbar for opening doors, a bottle of water, food seems to be a little easier to find, and all extra car parts, just in case of any issues breaking down. Worth noting, a car jack and a bandage are also great ideas to take with you anytime you leave your base. Now enjoy me not landing the perfect spear headshot in the background. Thank you for watching my top 10 beginners mist survival tips. Drop a like on the video, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to see more.